Well, hello there, my fellow Marines. How are you doing today? King Rexy here. Today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different because as you can see we're jumping into our Marines invasion. And as you can see right here from this save file, yeah, may or may not have been slightly addicted to it, just a bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, what are we gonna do today? Well, we're gonna be making reviews on all the premium stuff. That includes heroes and special units. We'll start off with the heroes though, because there are actually not that many, to believe it or not. There are only like, I believe 6 premium characters that you can play, which, you know, kinda sucks, but it is what it is. It's still a relatively new game, so there's probably gonna be new updates coming up for the game and all. But let's start it off with a character. Who should we start with? Even though the characters, as you can see right here, are ordered differently, I don't know, I think that's a bug, because sometimes the premium heroes are positioned in a weird order. The first one that we're gonna be reviewing today is...
Light up the fuse!
Bomett. Get it? Bomett? Bomett?
This will be a blast!
So yeah, Bomett. What is this guy about? Well, he is kind of a unique character that fails. Yeah, I know. I'm already starting off this very badly. I'm putting him in bad light, but let me tell you something. His stats are terrible. He has very low health. He has long range, so he's meant to be standing in the back, just tossing bombs at people. And you may think he tosses bombs. That means he deals area damage. Well, yes and no. He deals area damage, but the thing is that his AoE is kind of small. You're gonna see that once we get into a game later, but let's just say that his AoE is not the greatest. And again, because he has no armor, this means that it's gonna be very difficult for him to, you know, survive. But maybe if he has lower stats, his abilities should be much stronger, right? That's usually how a trade-off goes. You make the stats weaker in order to make the abilities much better. Well, let's check them out. Starting off with his first ability, Shock Pack. Throws a flashbang grenade that stuns enemies. Okay, well yeah, that's pretty cool. Just an AoE stun. I mean, it's much better than it sounds. It's good. The stun lasts for a good amount of time, and because he has such a long attack range, you can use it from quite a far. The cooldown is regular, so you can use it quite frequently. And here are the rank ups for this skill. So, at the silver rank, after the stun, enemies affected by the explosion temporarily lose their ability to attack or use abilities. So it's basically like an additional stun, almost. After the main stun duration is over, enemies are basically unable to attack you or use any abilities, but they can still move around, which, you know, is whatever. They might as well be stunned. But speaking of stunning, his gold rank is pretty cool, multiple blasts. After the explosion, it drops a set of capsules that generate a second explosion, stunning the enemies. So yeah, you basically get a little mines laid down after the main impact, and you can stun more enemies afterwards. It's kind of cool, you know. If you're facing off a gigantic horde of enemies, might as well just toss in the shock pack and just stun them for a while, allowing yourself to get some free damage. Pretty good skill, right? Well, yeah, but his next skill is complete garbage. Ground Sentry plants the device in his back into the ground. Yeah, the English here is not the greatest, but it's fine. This is Ironhide. Let's not go too harsh on them. When the device detects an enemy, launches a bomb into the air that explodes in the area. So yeah, he basically lays down a mine, and if an enemy walks near it, it's just gonna explode. It seems good, but the problem is that his stats are awful. He doesn't have enough survivability to be able to go to the front of the line, lay down the mine, and then go back. You have to be very quick about it if you want to use this ability efficiently, because he's not like Fate. Remember Fate from the original Iron Marines? She was able to become invisible and then plant a nuke, and that was really good. But this guy doesn't have his invisibility or stuff like that. So it is kinda difficult to use, but you may think that the rank ups are gonna be good for such a hard to use ability. Actually, no. Look at them. Lagging combustion. Adds a new component to the device. Explode. What? I can't read today. Adds a new component to the device explosion that slows enemies. So now you slow enemies. Alright, cool. But then that completely gets nullified when you see his other rank. Deadly attraction. The explosion generates a gravitational attraction that drags all enemies to the center. So yeah, basically now you're just sucking in enemies. It's not like stunning them, but you're basically immobilizing them. They're not gonna be able to come to you. They're just gonna be stuck there in the center of the explosion. Which is, I guess, cool if you're trying to like stall a bunch of enemies, but eh. I don't really like this skill, to be honest. It doesn't fit Bomett's playstyle. You don't have to be just rushing in the front, laying mines. I guess you can use it defensively if you're trying to run away later on. If the mission goes sour and you try to run, you can put up a ground sentry and just help out. Or maybe in defensive missions. In defensive missions, this skill may or may not be great. What is great, however, is his last ability, Bouncing Bombs. Throws a bomb that bounces 3 times. On each bounce, it explodes, generating a larger damage area than the previous one. So yeah, it's basically a triple bomb, and the damage from it is actually very high. It can definitely one-tap pretty much any low-tier enemy. Mid-tier enemies, depending on their armor rating, it can, sometimes it cannot. But it's pretty good, and surprisingly, it is decent against bosses. I've tested them out against a couple of the bosses in the game, and it does seem to do relatively well. The cooldown though, even though it says it's regular, I think it's a little bit longer than your average cooldowns, which is understandable because of how strong this ability is. But now let's take a look at his rank ups. Seeming Chemical. The second bounce releases a sticky substance that immobilizes enemies. So yeah, it's basically like after the first bomb, if anything survives, now you keep it in place and it can't run away from the third blast. And speaking of the third blast, Noxious Compress. The third bounce releases a poisonous gas that damages all enemies inside, and I believe that deals true damage over time, which is pretty good because the AoE is relatively big. So yeah, if you have a horde of enemies coming your way, just make sure you use the bouncing bombs. Just, why not? So yeah, he seems kind of alright, but let's test him out. Just let me check out something real quick.
Frognot's at your service. Let's get croaking.
Alright, let's do this. Sorry, I'm just changing up my characters. I don't want to use the premium units yet because I'm planning on making reviews on them. And let me see, difficulty. Oh, it's impossible. It's supposed to be veteran. Sorry for that. The reason why I'm doing it on veteran is because I want to show you how good he is on this difficulty. Impossible mode. Some characters are good, others are not. And for the mission, I think I'm gonna be showcasing my hero reviews and unit reviews for that matter on this mission, Killing Grounds. Why? Because I think it's a relatively good mission, because you're able to see a lot of things. Like, there's all types of enemies here. You have the Dark Imperials, you have the Vultures, and you have the Rats. So, yeah. Now let's take a look at his damage to buildings. As you can see, yeah, he's not really meant to be taking down buildings like crazy, but it's something. He's definitely doing some damage to it. But as you can see, occasionally, I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but he can throw a burning bomb. And the bomb just inflicts burning onto enemies. It's not quite as strong as you think, but it is what it is. You know, it's nice whenever you get one of these bombs, make sure you're using it. Okay. Yeah, he's taking a while, but at least he can take down buildings safely, because as you can see, he does have a pretty significant range. I would say it's kind of the same as the specialists, which is good because, you know, they're meant to be sniping at people. Alright, now let's prepare our squadron. Come on, everybody. Alright. Also, by the way, here are the stats if you wanna check them out. As I said, he doesn't have the best durability, but he does have a lot of range, which is good. Okay, now let's move on. And I guess we can take down a couple bases, or maybe one base. I don't know. I'm not sure how long I want this video to be. Okay, let's take this real quick. There we go.
Let's do some damage.
Let's do some damage. All right, give me that command point. Let's get a Gale, because he moves very fast, or very fast for, you know, a mecha. Okay, here we have some more enemies.
Bombastic.
Let's just toss some bombs at them. There we go. As you can see, look at that. He already took. He's taking a little bit of damage, but you know, those enemies are not meant to be like super high damaging or anything. Also, let me just get this. Just making some short adjustments.
Be quick or be
Alright, now let's try to take care of the Empyrean base. Because here we have a lot of units.
damage.
Okay. Boom!
Right down.
Here's the stun. As you can see, the stun lasts for quite a while. Like, it's not a short duration. And then the little bombs come out. Okay. We have this guy. Let's just bounce him. Come on, come on. Protect the Mauler. Oh yeah, look at that. That was some nice damage from the ultimate. Okay, now what I want to do, as you can see, another good thing is that he is able to outrange some of a lot of enemies actually. He's able to outrange them because that's what he is. He just has a very high range, so that's good. Oh no! My Mauler! Come on, Mauler, you can make it. Okay,
Bombastic.
let's just make him throw stuff. You know what? Let me show you something. Because this is a building. Look at that. Boop. There we go. You can stun buildings. That's something very important to note, guys. If you're gonna use Bomett, just remember that you can indeed stun buildings, and that's good. You know, it's nice. It's nice ability to have. Okay, now let's just get the Mauler back to work and let him shred some enemies, or some buildings in this case. But yeah, as you can see, he is taking a lot of damage, so might as well toss this in. And as you can see, enemies are getting dragged into the center. And the Dark Hole effect actually lasts for a decent amount of time. Here's the mine. It's still active though, that's pretty cool.
Mining all day.
That's one of the things I forgot to mention in the initial review. The mine does last for quite a while. As you can see, so far it's just still there. So we can use it. Okay, let's stun everybody. Oh, oops, he died. Oopsies. Okay, let's just do the big bomb. Big kaboom! Oh yeah, look at that. Against high tier enemies, sure, it may not seem like it does all that much damage, but it's not meant to. The idea behind this skill is to just thin out a horde and potentially damage some of the higher tier enemies, but not kill them. That's one of the main things I want you to understand, guys. But yeah, so far as you can see, he is okay. He definitely feels decent, but personally, I don't think he is as good as he could be. I feel like some more adjustments can be made to Bomett. But, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe he's not my type of character, but I'm only gonna give him a 6.5 out of 10. He's fine, but for a premium character, I feel like he should be just a little bit better. You know, not by all that much, just a tad bit better. Now, he is, I believe, $3, so he does cost some money, he's not free. As you can see, obviously, otherwise why I'll be making this video. He's not free. But, is he worth it, the amount of money that you're gonna be spending? Well, depending on your playstyle, yes and no. If you like characters who have very long range and can snipe people, then you'll like Bomett. But if, on the other hand, if you're not used to playing with a squishy character, it may be a little bit difficult to get used to the game with Bomett. I would say, for me, he's not really worth it. I would much rather stick to Halfort or even Ultra. I know Munisai exists, but I'm not really a big fan of him. Yeah, I know. I have opinion. I don't like the broken stuff. So yeah. Well guys, with that out of the way, I think that's gonna do it for this review. In conclusion, Bomett is fine, but he's not my type of character. Okay. Well, with that out of the way, as I said, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Appreciate you for sticking around to the end.
Some noise.
Subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future. And while you're at it, drop a like on the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. And until it comes, that was King Rexy. Over and out.